Good afternoon. My name is Carla Green. I'm here today to talk to you about the Rogerian style of argumentation. Carl Rogers believed the experience of two people meeting and speaking honestly to each other would have a healing effect. He was a psychologist, and he applied then this to the communication theory in hopes to get people that have disagreements to be able to come to a mutual agreement and resolve the problem. The Rogerian argument then stresses reducing threat and building bridges rather than winning the argument, which is effective when dealing with emotionally laden issues. So if you have two people, they both feel very, very strongly, you would never come to an agreement. But if you can put aside some of your emotions and listen to what the other side has to say, both of you are communicating, trying to find this common ground, you should be successful. So the Rogerian argument, if you are a writer or a speaker, you need to reduce the sense of threat in an argument by showing both the writer or speaker's side and the resistant audience share many basic values. You can do this. If you can do this, then you would have the ability to point out the areas of agreement, and that is the key then to being successful with the Rogerian style of argument. So in order to do this, we're going to approach the issue. And the first thing we have to do is try to establish the common ground. So what I'm going to do is, if I were part of the Rogerian argument, one side versus the other, I would need to give a brief explanation and be very objective in my explanation of the issue under discussion. Then summarize in impartial language what you perceive the case for the opposition to be. The summary should demonstrate that you do understand the issue and that you are sensitive of their concerns or their interest. Again, your choice of words or language makes a world of difference. You do not want to come across as hostile. You don't want to come across that you're running their issue down. So think about, your word choice and how you phrase stuff. The next one is to make it an objective statement of your own side and of the issue. You would list your concerns or your interests, again, avoiding loaded language or any hint of superiority. Lastly, if you can outline what those common grounds or mutual concerns are, you and the other person or group seem to share, maybe you can come to a quicker agreement or at least be able to set the groundwork that instead of 4 issues here, we can agree, because we share the same values, on 3 of the issues, and we only have 1 then to discuss. And that's the key point to it. You might have 1 where you went into the argument thinking that you had 4 that you were trying to prove, but looking at common ground, shared interests and values, you decide you only have 1 issue. And lastly, the outline your solution or your proposed solution to it, pointing out both sides that what both sides may gain from it. So if I have a possible solution, what could the other side get out of it? What would be a benefit to them? Because again, it's like conceding. I have this possible solution, I think it would work, and here's how you could benefit from it. And knowing that they still might be somewhat resistant, but not totally resistant. Okay, thank you, and we're going to now practice it in class.